Good morning, yogis. My name is Shonda, and I will be guiding you through this morning's hatha practice. Um, this one will be specifically for like liver detox and headaches and hangovers. So just feel free to take a nice slow pace, maybe having some water available, a blanket or bolster if you wish to have some extra support. And I also have a few essential oils here, lavender and peppermint, which are really great just for calming and soothing. And then also, peppermint is also invigorating, really good for any nausea, really good for headaches. So we're going to start today's class in supported child's pose. So if you have a bolster or a few blankets, you could fold them up, in half like so and stack them on top of one another. Or you can even use a pillow, nice thick pillow. I like to sometimes have a little extra support underneath my knees. And have the bolster out in front of you. Again, you can use a pillow. If you don't have a bolster, pillow, or blankets available, that's okay too. So I just sprinkled some essential oils here on this tissue, some lavender and peppermint. You could also put it on your mat, or lavender is really great on the back of the neck. Also the liver aids in detoxification. You could also do peppermint on the back of the neck, maybe even a little bit on the third eye or the center between the brow. And sometimes that just helps with continuing to move toxins through and just kind of invigorate the body, get the flow of the chi moving, the prana moving, and just release some toxins. So sit nice and wide on the mat with your knees. So bring the knees out to the side, the big toes can touch. Take a nice deep inhale, lengthening through the spine and the crown of the head. And then as you exhale, you can begin to walk yourself forward and down, chest and torso. And feel free to either release the forehead to the mat or the support beneath you, or perhaps you even rest on one cheek or another. You see what feels best for you. Make any adjustments supporting your body. Coming down nice and slow. And let's take a nice few deep breaths in and out. You can breathe in through the nose, out through the nose. Perhaps it feels nice to take nice deep breaths in through the nose and exhaling through the mouth. If you have essential oils available, it's really nice to just take those inhales, reawakening the senses and the body. Breathing into the low back. Nice deep breaths, massaging the internal organs, gently pressing onto the liver meridians. The liver is protected by the ribs very often, but it's nice to just add a little pressure. Begin to cleanse and detoxify and massage. If you're resting on one cheek or the other, you may want to switch to the opposite side. Just relaxing here. If you have your forehead on the mat or resting on a block, you can always gently rock the forehead from side to side. That massages the forehead, releases any tension or holding in the back of the neck, shoulder area. It's also great to add a little pressure to these points in the forehead if that feels nice, releasing headache. Being calm and gentle with yourself, your body, releasing any thoughts of judgment or toxic thought thinking. We have enough toxins in our body that we breathe in or take in on a daily basis. So just allow the toxic or negative thinking to be released with each exhalation. Giving yourself some love and grace, gratitude for your body and your practice. The body does a lot of work for us internally and externally. So sending some love and grace and gratitude. Good, then very gently and slowly begin to press the hands into the mat. Gently walking yourself back up to an upright position. So gently removing the bolster if you wish off to the side. You can keep this tissue here on your mat, or perhaps you even want to put the essential oils, again on the neck or rubbing it into your mat if that feels good for you today. So draw the knees back in together and take a moment here to just gently come into our hero's pose, also known as thunderbolt, sitting on the sits bones connecting with the heels. This is a great posture for digestion. Allow the shoulders to draw down and relax down the back and away from the ears. Crown of the head is lifting up. Nice deep yogic breaths here. This posture is also known to activate the parasympathetic nervous system. That is our most relaxed state. Also a great posture for digestion. You're going to begin to sit yourself forward and just releasing to the hip. Draw the legs out long on the mat in front of you. So again, from here you can use a blanket underneath the seat just to elevate the hips. I'm going to use my bolster just because it's available here. So that is pretty elevated, but it's a nice way to elevate the hips and really extend through the backs of the legs and the feet. And backs of the shins and the legs. Take a nice deep inhale, sit up nice and tall. Feel the sit bones connected to the edge of a blanket, a bolster. If you have some hip underneath the height underneath the hips. Draw the crown of the head lifting up towards the sky. Flex the toes and the feet inward. A nice deep inhale, soften the shoulders down as you lift the crown of the head up and draw that nice connection with the sit bones. Feet and toes flexed, pointing back towards the shins. So nice activation in the legs and thighs here. And from here, let's begin to press the hands alongside the body. Perhaps we even bring them a bit behind us, opening up the chest and the heart here. So if it feels a little too much to be activating the legs, you can soften here in the ankles and the feet as we open up the chest. So allow the hands to be wherever they feel most comfortable. So maybe the fingertips point out to the sides like so, or maybe they reach behind you, so pointing towards the back and away from you, or perhaps the fingertips point towards the body. So just find what feels right. Maybe taking a moment to stretch out the neck, maybe making some circles with the nose. Opening up the lymphs on the side of the neck. And beautiful, begin to lift yourself back up, right crown of the head lifting, extending and rising upwards. If it feels nice and available to you, go ahead and activate the thighs. So allow the thighs to press down towards the mat. Draw the core in, engage the abdomen, lift the crown of the head, toes pointing back towards the body, flexing back towards the body. Take a nice deep inhale, lengthen and extend here, creating space between each vertebrae. And just begin to walk yourself forward, coming into a bit of a forward fold. Let's take a moment to though just be here. Notice some length in the spine. In fact, I'm going to switch off to the side just so that you guys could see the length in the spine and how we try to keep it nice and flat in the low back area. So see how we don't want to arch or extend or arch into the upper back. We want to keep a nice flat back, nice long line of energy from the crown of the head all the way down to the tip of the tailbone. So be here, take a nice deep cleansing inhale and exhale. Maybe you shift down a little further. Notice if you've begun to round into the back. As you inhale, maybe you back off just a bit from folding forward. And then exhale, see if the body adjusts and opens up a little deeper. This is a really nice stretch for the backs of the legs, the hamstrings, the low back and sacrum area. Maybe even just above the hips. Nice deep inhalation and exhale, then you can begin to round into the upper back and shoulders. Keep the toes flexed here, and then if it feels nice, you can grab a hold of the ankles or the outside edges of the feet, maybe giving yourself a nice little massage here. Massaging the feet, the tops of the feet, this spot right between the big toe and the second toe, that little V. Right there is a reflexology point, meridian point for the liver. So maybe you gently feel some sensation there, and you begin to just massage that point, that area. It's also great to just massage down the foot right in between those two bones. That also activates and moves lymph through the body. So allowing any stagnation to be moved. So it doesn't have to be done right now, but perhaps about 20 to 30 strokes here. Sometimes it's nice to use a knuckle, but don't be surprised if you find some bruising on your feet, because I've been practicing that, clearing my sinuses and my nose lately. Beautiful. Lengthen and extend again if you would wish to grab a hold of the outside edges of the feet and just massage there. Good. Place the hands down on the mat and begin to walk yourself up. Right crown of the head lifting up. Feel free to remove the bolster or the blanket off to the side. From here, we're going to move into a seated spinal twist. So drawing the right knee in towards the chest, hug it nice and tight in. Keep the left leg extended long on the mat. So from here, you can be here. Drawing the inhaling, lifting the left arm up alongside the ear. The right hand can gently come behind you. As you inhale, take a nice deep breath, lengthen and extend. And as you exhale, perhaps drawing the elbow to the outside of the left knee. So again, this is a beautiful opportunity and stretch, massage for the liver. Also a twist, bringing out and detoxifying the internal organs. If you feel you'd like to move a little further into the posture, you can always cross the right foot across the left leg. Just extending and opening up a little more. Intensifying the twist. Nice deep inhalations and exhalations. Soften into the posture with each exhalation. Good. Release on your next exhalation. You can uncross the foot if you had it crossed. Hug that right knee in. And then externally rotate it out toward the side. Coming into Janu Sirsasana. So take a nice deep inhale from here. Again, if you'd like to lift and elevate the hips, you can. However, if you'd like to just be here, find a nice tall spine, crown of the head lifts, left toes drawing back towards the body. And then exhale, begin to walk yourself down. Again, taking notice if you begin to round into the back right away. Engage the core, draw the core inward and upward, navel coming up and in towards the spine. Good, maybe you shift and rock, just being gentle with the body. Maybe it feels really nice on either side of the spine and the low back to just take a gentle rock here, shifting from side to side. Perhaps you're again able to reach the ankles or the feet, perhaps massaging into the tops and bottoms of the feet, maybe even the toes. Releasing any stagnation or holding between the joints. It feels real nice. And a couple more breaths here. Good. Release the foot or the ankle. Palms of the hands come to either side of the left leg. Walk yourself back upright. Draw the right knee in, hug it in, and then release it out long onto the mat. Maybe take a moment to shake or paddle the legs. Continuing to move the energy. Release any trapped energy. Maybe you point and flex the toes. And finding yourself sitting up nice and tall. Draw the left knee in. Hug it in nice and tight. As you lift the crown of the head, the back of the neck. And then you can keep the foot gently on the inside of the right leg. Or perhaps you cross the left foot over the right leg. We'll come into our Ardha. It's Ardha Matsyendrasana. So inhale, lifting the right arm up next to the ear, bicep in line with the ear, reaching and extending. Left hand gently placed on the outside of the left hip, and then as you exhale, begin to twist to the left. Perhaps the knee presses gently into the elbow, elbow pressing gently in opposition with the knee. Take a nice deep inhale, lengthen and extend here. Keep the right foot flexed. Nice deep inhalations and exhalations here. And perhaps the gaze can come straight and alongside to the left side, or perhaps you find the body opening up a bit further and you can begin to draw the gaze over the left shoulder. If that's not asking too much of the neck. Two more deep breaths in and out here. Good. Release back towards center. If the left ankle is crossed, cross the right knee, bring it back to center. Hug the left knee in. You gently rock side to side and forward and back here. And then draw the left knee out towards the left side. So coming into our Janu Shirshasana. On the opposite side, so take a nice deep inhale, lengthen the space between each vertebrae. Sits bones connected to the earth as the crown of the head lifts up. Take a nice deep inhale here. And then exhale, slowly begin to walk yourself down. Excuse me. Maybe the chest and torso shifts over the extended right leg. Again, maybe you gently find this nice rock from side to side. It might feel good to just stretch and feel the sensation. Allow the body to open up. Perhaps if you have the tissue on your mat, draw it a little closer into you so you're able to just take nice deep inhalations of those lavender and peppermint essential oils. When it feels good for you, you can begin to round into the upper back and shoulders. Perhaps you grab a hold of the ankle or the outer and inner edges of the foot. Again, maybe massaging the top of the foot, the sides of the foot, perhaps the toes. Several nice deep breaths here. Good. One more breath. Release the hands down to the outside and the inside of the right leg. Begin to walk yourself back to an upright position. Using the strength of the arms, draw the left knee in towards the body. Give yourself a nice hug in that left leg. Releasing the left leg out. Again, pointing and flexing the toes here. Maybe shaking the legs out, padding out the inner parts of the legs, the tops. Maybe on the outside. Good. So from here, let's draw ourselves forward a bit with our hips coming a little closer to our heels. Sit up nice and tall. Gently place the backs of the hands or the palms of the hands just behind the thighs. And take a moment to inhale, lengthen and extend, and begin to lift the feet off the mat. So here you can begin to stretch out and coming into your boat pose. So perhaps you're here. Keep the chest and chin lifted. If you'd like to continue to extend and straighten into the knees and legs, my hips are a bit tight today, so you can come into full boat pose. So keep the chest and the chin lifted though. Perhaps this is your pose for today. Keep the core hugging inward. Nice deep yogic breathing here. Maybe the hands come out to the sides. Good. Draw the knees in and rock yourself forward. So from here, we're going to bring the soles of the feet together. Draw the knees out wide, coming into a seated butterfly. So perhaps you draw the heels in a little closer to the body. Again, you could take some height underneath your seat if you wish. Just opening up the front of the hips. So take a nice deep inhale. You can also bring the feet a little further away from you Just going to depend on your body. The more closer you draw the feet in towards the body, the more of a stretch you'll get on the inner thighs, the groin area. Further away, you have the feet from the body, it'll stretch more into the low back. So just find your perfect stretch. Maybe place the hands on top of the ankles. Perhaps you open up the feet. Again, maybe giving yourself a nice little yogi massage here. The tops of the feet, the bottoms of the feet, and the toes. So take a nice deep inhale. And then exhale, begin to draw the chest and torso forward. So again, you want to keep that nice flat back if possible. So we're really reaching with the chest and the chin. Staying elongated. And use the elbows to gently place some resistance on the knees as the knees create an opposition with the elbows. Find your deep breathing here. Maybe about your fifth breath. Begin to round into the back and the shoulders. Maybe interlace the fingers around the feet. Allow the head to hang heavy here. Really relaxing and softening into the posture. Baddha Konasana, round angle. Good, breathing into the low back, the outer hips, the inner thighs, the groin area. Good, one more deep breath in and exhale completely. Good, place the palms of the hands onto the mat. And just ever so slowly and gently begin to come up to an upright position. Maybe you brush the shins and the legs, just gently bringing sensation and awareness back. A gentle massage there, and draw the hands on the outside of the knees. Bring the knees together. Again, sitting up nice and tall. Let's hug the knees inward, lift the crown of the head, and then tuck the crown of the head down. Chin comes in, really hugging into the body. Good, release the hold. Come into a wide-legged forward fold here. So again, I'm going to bring some height underneath my seat, just as that's really helpful for me in a pose that sometimes can be quite the challenge for some people. So only bring the legs as wide as it feels comfortable for you. Again, my sit bones will be right at the edge of the bolster, the blankets. Perhaps if you tend to overextend the knees, you would wish to put a blanket or some support underneath the knees there, or just keep a slight bend. Keep the thighs engaged and the toes pulling back towards you, flexing the toes and the feet. Take a nice deep inhalation, lift the crown of the head, relax and soften the shoulders down. Engage the low core, the low abdomen muscles, draw the navel up and inward. And then as you exhale, gently begin to move forward from the hips, lift up and out of the pelvic bowl. It's as if you are imagining a bowl sitting right at the pelvic girdle, like a bowl of cereal, a bowl of water, milk, and it would just begin to tip gently forward. So again, maybe you shift to the left and the right here, just allowing the body to gently open up. Find some fluidity and movement. And maybe you're just here for today. This pose can vary from person to person. If you have some blocks, you can place them underneath the forearms. Or you may also have a block or two to support the forehead. This is another great pose for the low back, but also the inner thighs and groin area. It also, the liver meridian, again, starts between the toes here, the big toe and the little toe, and then it runs all the way around through the ankle and then the inner part of the thigh, running up the side into that inner groin area, that inner thigh area. So know that you're hitting the liver meridians there as well. Good. Exhale, softening in. Again, feel free to adjust the knees or the legs. The comfort of that nice, comfortable stretch without any extra effort or pain. Feels really nice for me to sway just side to side gently here. And then settling in. Two more breaths. Nice deep inhalations, nice complete exhalations. Good. Press the palms of the hands into the mat or the surface beneath you and walk yourself back up to an upright position. From here, let's take a moment to lift and extend through the crown of the head. And then let's gently begin to take a little bit of a side stretch. So draw the right hand down the right leg. And then as we inhale, we'll lift the left arm up above the head, reaching towards the right toes. So try to keep the chest and torso open here, heart open. So the gaze can come gently up towards the ceiling, feeling that nice stretch along the left leg, the outer left hip. okay to be exactly where you are, just feeling that nice stretch, not overdoing it. Good, let's bring ourselves back up to center. Draw the left hand down the left leg. Inhale, reach the right arm up and to the side, bending over onto the left side, reaching towards those toes. Keeping the heart open, the chest open, the gaze can come up. Two more breaths here. So good. Maybe you rotate that arm down and forward, coming up through center midline, pausing here for a moment, and then engaging the core, lifting yourself back up to upright position. Place the palms just gently under the knees. Use the support of the hands and the arms to draw the knees back in toward you. And again, let's hug the knees nice and tight into the body. Lengthen and extend through the crown of the head. Tuck the chin and begin to round the head down. Hug yourself gently. Good. Coming back up to center. Let's come down onto our backs here. And take a moment to draw yourself all the way back down. Really lengthen that lower spine. So maybe even if you want to take a moment to just lift, do a little pelvic tilt or pelvic lift, and then release the sacrum very gently down onto the mat. So take a moment here just to feel as you breathe in and out, a nice natural curve in the low back, but maybe just taking soft pelvic tilts here. So as you inhale, you shift yourself forward. Exhale, just gently drawing the tailbone and sacrum in towards you. So you're barely lifting here. With some pelvic tilts, just strengthening the pelvic floor. Try to keep the knees hugging inward and together. You can press onto the inner edges of the feet, inner arches of the feet. And taking a moment to just pause and rest here. Let's draw the right leg and knee into the chest. Keep the right foot flexed, and then you could be here, and that could be just fine for your posture today. Or perhaps you want to lengthen and extend the left leg long on the mat. Keep the left toes flexing back towards you. Keep the left leg activated. Really feel the abdomen rising and falling here with each inhalation and exhalation. Your next inhalation, really draw the knee in towards the body, use the resistance of the hands, and then begin to draw the right knee out towards the right armpit. Just opening up and feeling a little different sensation there. Good. Bringing it back to center with your next inhalation. Hug it in once again. And again, you can release the sole of the right foot down to the mat. And then draw the left knee in towards the chest. Keeping the left foot flexed. Again, maybe seeing if your posture's here. You're feeling the pose. And this feels nice for your practice today. You can honor yourself, honor your body where it is. Maybe you begin to extend the right leg if you'd like to move a little deeper into the stretch. As you continue to hug that left knee in towards the body. You can begin to draw the left knee out towards the outer edge of the body, up towards the left armpit, feeling a nice stretch on the inner groin there. Keeping the right leg active, right foot flexed. Good. Bring the left knee in towards center. Draw the knees together, giving yourself a great big hug, perhaps gently rocking to the left and to the right, massaging the low back. Good, and then I want to invite you to take a couple of choices or a couple of options here. So we're going to move on to our Shavasana. So I want to encourage you to either take your traditional Shavasana or perhaps you could do a legs up the wall practice. I have a window here, but I'm going to use my bolster. So you don't even have to be up the wall, but you could have a bolster or a block underneath the hips here. Just elevating the hips. You could even come into a supported bridge if that feels nice for the low back. Or perhaps you begin to draw the knees upright and then straightening into the legs. This is Viparita Karani. It's one of the most beneficial poses in the yoga practice. So feel free to take the legs up the wall. I'm using the wall for some support. It's deeply relaxing. Or perhaps you can keep the soles of the feet on the mat, knees lifted, supporting the low back here. Or you could take your traditional Shavasana. Legs can come out long on the mat, releasing the heels to the outer edges of the mat. Soften the facial features and the jaw. Allow the eyes to soften. Maybe releasing the head to the left and to the right. Continuing to lengthen and release any holdings or tensions in the neck. Bringing that nice, balanced, centered position. Hands can be placed on the abdomen or alongside the body, the palms facing up. Return to your natural breathing, letting go of any effort. Just allowing the breath to flow at its own natural rhythm. If you have the legs lifted or elevated and you'd like to remove the bolster, if you don't have a wall, feel free to do so. Maybe you use the tissue, if you had one, to gently place over the eyes. Imagine the breath circulating through all the cells and meridians. The prana, the life force energy, sending healing, rejuvenation, and regeneration. I'd like to encourage you to stay in your Shavasana for up to 11 minutes or more if you have the opportunity, really integrating your practice today, giving yourself some light and love. Perhaps you're feeling a bit better. Carrying your breathing and your practice throughout the rest of your day. If you're ready to move on or bring some movement to the body, gently wiggle into the fingers and the toes. Allow sensations to return. Perhaps hugging the knees in towards the chest. Shifting on to the side of your choice, resting in supported fetal position. The head can rest onto the arm. Knees can come hug in towards the chest. A really awesome quote last night when I wasn't able to sleep very well. The quote says, "Is life worth living? It's up to the liver." I can't remember who it's by, but I thought it was really, I don't know, quite funny.
meaning the liver in its physical sense, and then the liver as the being that you are. And gently begin to walk yourself up to a comfortable seated position. You can remain in your shavasana if you wish. Let's draw the hands together at heart center. Allow the thumb knuckles to gently press into the sternum. Let's close out today's session with one resonant sound of Om. Take one deep cleansing inhalation and exhalation to prepare. The next inhalation to Om. Thank you for allowing me to guide you through your practice today. It's my honor and my pleasure to be your guide. Namaste.